Hey guys, in this video we're going to go over some quick component location for the hydrostatic system on the 450K crawler dozer, mainly because they're pretty hard to see from the outside, so we're just going to make this quick video to see them. We're going to start with the cab. Right here you've got your SDM, which is your standard display module. It's a little bit different than your bigger screens in your bigger dozers and things. It's what you're going to see in backhoes. The only way you get the bigger screen on these smaller dozers if you got integrated grade control, which this 450K doesn't. So we're stuck with this one, but that's fine. It's still got a lot of onboard diagnostic tools and information that we're going to use when testing this thing. If you remove your floor pan underneath, you can see your two variable displacement hydrostatic motors. They're axial piston types. They're going to use a PCP, which you can see right there. That's going to turn your signal coming out of your TCU into a hydraulic differential pressure, which is going to move your spool on your PDCV, which it's kind of hard to see, but it's right there, essentially in the middle right there. And that's going to send charge oil to one side or the other side of your servo piston in your motor, or in your pump, excuse me. And that is going to change your swash plate angle, changing your displacement. Now they have a bunch of different test ports on them. These test ports right there, and on the other side right there, that's going to be reading pressure on either side of your PDCV spool. So that's how you're going to be able to test pressure differential created by the PCP, and you're going to be able to adjust your PCP using that. If you take that screw out right there, you're going to have an internal hex screw, and that's going to be able to adjust your flapper valve inside your PCP. Can you be able to get that neutral differential pressure down to almost zero? And then you've got two more diagnostic receptacles there and there, which are going to read pressures on either side of your servo piston, and that's going to be able to help you adjust your PDCV down to null when you're doing those pressure adjustments. And there are two of these motors. They're the exact same. They're running in tandem formation. It's just easier to see this bottom one here just because of the way they're placed. Now on the side of these motors you have two multifunction relief valves. They are right there, and there's another one right down there. Let me see if I can shine a light on it. Yeah, you can see it barely down in there. But each one has one for either side of the closed loop, and you have two on the other motor as well. They're going to run your high pressure relief setting, and that's also going to be anti-cavitation and makeup oil. All right, here on the left side of the machine, you have right behind this load center panel is going to be your VCU1 and VCU2. Those two control units are actually going to house your TCU software. This machine is just like the 850L, doesn't have a physical TCU. It's just a separate piece of software running on your VCUs. So if that ever goes bad, you're going to have to replace your VCUs right in there. Alright, now here on the back of the machine, we take off this panel and we are able to look directly at our hydrostatic motors. Right motor, left motor, obviously. We've got our motor shift solenoids on each one. These are going to change the axis, the angle, because these are bent axis motors, and that's how it changes the displacement of the motor, changes the speed of the motor. Right up here, we've got our, let me see if I can get a better angle on it. You're able to barely see that connector up there, but that is connector going to your park brake solenoid. That's going to send charge oil down these hoses to each motor and release your park brake because they are hydraulically released spring applied. Also, each motor has a pressure and direction sensor on each, which makes diagnostics work a lot easier. Alright, here on the right side of the machine we have our hydrostatic and hydraulic oil fill tank. This machine does not have a separate tank of oil for a hydrostatic system. It shares it with the hydraulic, which is a bit of a bonus because warming up your hydraulic oil by doing hydraulic functions will warm up your hydrostatic oil, which helps in the testing process. And it also uses the same filter as well.